My family demanded half my apartment, so I kicked them all out. It all started when my uncle lost his job 4 months ago. Uncle Mark called me crying, saying they had nowhere to go after missing rent payments. Just temporarily, he promised, until I find something new. I felt guilty. I'd worked my butt off to afford this 2-bedroom apartment at 25, but they were family, so I cleared out my home office and told them they could stay. The first 2 weeks were fine. Mark and Aunt Carol kept to themselves, helped with groceries, seemed grateful for the help. Then it stretched to a month, then 6 weeks. Their temporary stuff started filling my living room and kitchen cabinets. That's when my cousin Danny showed up with his girlfriend Lisa. No warning, no asking permission, just knocked on my door at midnight with sleeping bags and backpacks. "We got kicked out of our place," Danny announced, already pushing past me into the apartment. "We need somewhere to crash until we figure things out." I wanted to say no, but Danny was my favorite cousin growing up and looked desperate. Lisa just stood behind him quietly, looking embarrassed about the whole situation. So now my 2-bedroom apartment had 5 adults crammed into it. Danny started complaining about sleeping on the living room floor being uncomfortable. He kept walking through my bedroom, commenting on how much space I had for just one person. "You don't really need this whole room," he'd say, looking at my king-size bed and desk setup. 3 weeks later, I came home from work early and found them in my bedroom. Danny was measuring the space while Lisa moved boxes into my closet. Uncle Mark was helping them rearrange my furniture. "What the hell are you doing?" I asked, completely shocked. Danny turned around casually like I was interrupting him watching TV. "We need more room for our stuff. You can sleep on the couch until we all figure something else out." The audacity hit me like a brick wall. My couch, in my apartment that I paid rent for every month. "Get your stuff out of my room, right now." I was trying to stay calm, but feeling my anger building up. Uncle Mark stepped forward, trying to look authoritative. "Relax, kiddo. We're family. We'll start splitting rent when I find work again." Aunt Carol emerged from the kitchen, trying to play peacekeeper. "Sweetie, let's just talk about this calmly. Danny and Lisa need space as a couple, and you have the biggest room in the apartment." I cut her off immediately. "No, this is my apartment. I decide who sleeps where, and nobody's sleeping in my bedroom except me." Danny rolled his eyes dramatically. "God, you're so selfish. Do you want your family sleeping on the floor forever?" "I want my family sleeping in their own place, which isn't here." The silence was completely deafening. You could feel the tension shift in the entire room. I looked at all 4 of them standing there. "You have 24 hours to find somewhere else to go." They actually laughed it off, thought I was totally bluffing. Big mistake on their part. The next morning, while they were all out job hunting, I called my landlord and explained the situation. Then I called a locksmith and had him change the door locks. Cost me $200, but it was worth every single penny. Then I went through the apartment systematically. Every piece of their stuff went into garbage bags and cardboard boxes. Clothes, toiletries, Danny's gaming setup, Carol's romance novels, Mark's work tools, absolutely everything that wasn't mine. I piled it all in the hallway outside my apartment door in neat little stacks, each person's stuff separated and labeled, like a yard sale from hell. When they came back around 3 o'clock, the show began immediately. Danny saw his stuff first and started screaming. "What the hell is this crap?" "Moving day," I said calmly from my doorway, holding my new keys. Uncle Mark tried his tough guy routine, getting in my face. "You can't do this to family. We have rights as tenants." I laughed out loud. "What rights? Show me your lease. Show me proof you pay bills here or have any legal claim to this place." Aunt Carol looked devastated and started crying. "How could you do this to your own family?" "The same way you tried to steal my bedroom." "Pretty easily, actually." Danny was getting more angry now, the ugly kind of shouting. "We're family. You're throwing family onto the streets." "I'm evicting freeloaders who tried to take over my apartment without permission. They kept trying to negotiate and bargain." Lisa threatened to call the police on me. "Call them," I said. "I'll be inside, in my bedroom, in my apartment." I went inside and locked the door with my new keys. Through the window, I watched them load their stuff into Mark's beat-up truck. Danny glared at me with pure hatred before they drove away. Mark and Carol followed in their car, Carol still crying dramatically. For the first time in months, my apartment was completely silent and mine again.